I want to talk to you about the dreaded seams and joints that everybody fears in the center of the room. I'd like to start out by saying wood moldings absorb moisture, and when they get moisture in them, they expand. And when they dry out, they contract. So everybody goes out and buys a 12, 14, 16 foot long piece of crown molding because they don't want the seam in the middle of the room. Now they take and they cut the two corners, install it, and when the wood dries out, it shrinks and pops a seam in both sides of the room. Our styrofoam crown moldings do not contract or expand like wood moldings do. I'm going to show you next of how to make a scarf joint and a straight joint that makes a very nice, smooth, finished look. Now I'm going to show you how to join our foam crown moldings together to have any continuous length of molding that you prefer. The first way is to take two pieces of your crown molding and make clean cuts on the end at 90-degree angles. Now all you have to do is use a low temperature hot glue gun and put a bead on the end about the size of a piece of pencil lead. Now take both of your pieces, press them together and align them up. You'll need to wait 15 to 20 seconds for the glue to cool. And as you can see, you'll have nothing more than a small paper cut or a joint. Now the second way, which a lot of carpenters and a lot of people prefer to do, is the scarf joint, where two pieces of molding are cut at 45-degree angles. Again, take your hot glue gun, and put a small bead on the end, about the size of a piece of pencil lead. Take both pieces and align them and hold them together for 15 to 20 seconds, and that will join and bond your two pieces of mold together very strongly. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make good joints and seams on your crown molding. But the first thing I want to say is the biggest mistake that people make today is to take painter's caulk and go up and put a bead in that vertical seam. Then they come back and they wipe it off with a caulking tool. In a few hours they come back and they touch it. It's dry, it looks good. They put a coat of paint on it and they come back the next morning and it's all shrunk up in the middle. Why? Because painter's caulk is 60 to 70% refined clay. What happens to clay when it dries? It shrinks. So I'm going to show you how to get around that. What you need to do is take sandable spackle and put a bead on that vertical seam. Take your caulking tool, wipe it in, and let it dry for about an hour. Come back with a sandable sponge and sand that joint off, and you'll have a nice look. Sandable spackle does not shrink. The only good use for painter's caulk is that bottom and top horizontal seam. If it shrinks, it does not show.